shop and responded to a story about LeBron saying that football players are disqualified from the GOAT debate because they don't play both sides of the ball. Well, Brady said, quote, "You can't do everything else. You can't do everyone else's job. I can't block, tackle, run, catch. I sure as hell can't run, but I can throw the bleep out of the ball." Shannon, does Brady deserve to be the GOAT?
Only if LeBron James deserves to be the GOAT. Because the argument that Skip Bayless and many others have used, Michael Jordan is unbeaten in finals. He's unbeaten in the finals. Tom Brady has 3 losses in the Super Bowl. So why isn't Joe Montana? Joe Montana has a lot of game-winning drives in the Super Bowl. So Michael Jordan doesn't have the most points. He doesn't have the most rebounds. He doesn't have any of that. So that's all I'm saying. Also, Tom Brady also said in that, 90% of what I say is not what I'm thinking. I do not believe Tom Brady doesn't think he's the GOAT. I do not believe that Tom Brady doesn't think he's the best player to ever wear helmet, shoulder pads, and cleats. I believe he believes that. I don't believe he'll say it publicly, but I believe he believes that. So my only argument is, if Tom Brady is the GOAT, and I got no problem if you say Tom Brady is the GOAT, but you can't say Tom Brady is the GOAT with losses in the Super Bowl and say LeBron can't be the GOAT in basketball because he has losses in the NBA Finals. Because if losses matter, it's Joe Montana. If not, I got no problem with it.
Yet it was LeBron James who once said no football player can be a GOAT because they don't play both sides of the ball, right?
It's hard for me to say that, and I, to a certain extent, Skip, I agree. It's just hard for me to look at it because someone else can do things.
Okay, so I'll use LeBron's logic against you because if that's true, then you can't blame Tom Brady for what happened in the first Eli Super Bowl because Tom did what he always does. With 2 minutes left, he drove him 70 yards for a touchdown. They went up. He hit Randy Moss with a touchdown pass to go up 14-10.
Yeah.
And then Bill Belichick allowed Eli Manning to go 75 yards against his defense for the game-winning touchdown. Well, that's not Brady's fault.
Hold on.
You can't hold that against Brady.
Was time still on the clock? So Tom Brady got an opportunity to get the ball back, right?
30 seconds.
Well, that's all you need. You don't need but 30 seconds.
Okay.
I've seen Joe Montana. I've seen Tom go down there and get field goal range in 30 seconds.
Then how about the Philly Super Bowl in which Tom Brady threw for an all-time playoff record, not just a Super Bowl record, an all-time playoff record, 505 yards and put up 33 points on a top 5 Philadelphia Eagles defense. And Bill Belichick upchucked all over the field because he allowed Nick Foles, the backup quarterback, to be Super Bowl MVP by hanging 41 on his defense that did not feature the guy who had taken the most defensive snaps during the regular season, Malcolm Butler, who mysteriously, inexplicably was in the doghouse that day.
Let that go, Skip.
I don't have to let it go because it's hard to believe that it wasn't a little sabotagey for Brady.
Man, see that you go with that word sabotaging.
Well, I don't know. It just, to this day, I've still heard no explanation why Malcolm Butler didn't play.
I don't think you're going to be receiving one.
Okay.
Skip, all I'm saying is this. If you want to say Tom Brady is the GOAT, I got no problem with that. He has 3 losses. He's 7-3. But you can't use that as a disqualifier LeBron because he has losses in the finals and say Michael Jordan is the GOAT because he's unbeaten in the finals. If that's the standard for GOATs, well, Joe Montana is it.
Okay, but LeBron's gotten swept twice in the finals and he's gotten gentleman swept 2 more times. He's just been
Joe
awful.
Montana never lost to a guy that's not going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, think about that. I mean, Nick Foles. Nick Foles beat him. Nick Foles beat him in the biggest game. What guy? Joe Montana took down John Elway. He took down Dan Marino. Am I correct?
Yeah, but Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls with 6 game-winning fourth-quarter drives. That's impossible.
How many losses he got in their games?
Okay, well, I told you 2 of them were not on him.
Okay.
You can put that one, the second Eli on him.
Okay, Joe got none. We can't put that on nobody. Joe is undefeated in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so who do you think the GOAT is in football? It's your sport.
No.
Yep.
What standard are we using? Does losses disqualify?
What's your standard?
No, let's skip.
Well,
no,
I don't care. I'm not in the Hall of Fame. You're in it.
You the journalist. You the world.
No.
I go anywhere they go. Man, Skip. They all want to talk about Skip.
What's your bus saying? Inside locked doors at night. What is it saying? Brady's the GOAT.
That what it's saying?
Yeah.
I put tape over his mouth because he talked too much.
Really?
Yeah.
Your bus talks too much? I believe that.
If he said Brady to go. No, Skip, I don't look. I agree it's hard because I like the guys that play, both sides. I mean, But it is what it is.
Okay, I love what Tom Brady told LeBron James to his face. He said, I can't do that or that or that or that or that. But the one thing I can do, I can throw the you-know-what out of the football.
Yeah.
What's the number one attribute for the quarterback?
Yes, accuracy.
Well, it's just throwing the football.
Yeah.
And it's throwing it under pressure accurately in the clutch. Okay? Well, nobody's ever done it better than this guy.
Joe?
So, not better than this guy. Not more than this guy.
Joe ain't never lost in the Super Bowl. Can't nobody got a trophy that says, I beat Joe Montana for this in this game.
And he won 4.
Eli, Skip, let that sink in for a second. Eli got him. And Nick Foles. Nick Foles couldn't even beat out Mitchell Trubisky.
Tell that to Bill Belichick.
He couldn't beat out Carson Walker to a win.
Tell that to Bill Belichick.
He went to the Rams, couldn't beat out Sam Bradford.
Tell that to the overrated Bill Belichick.
I think was Sam Bradford there, but anyway, he couldn't beat out whoever was there. He couldn't beat him out.
What we're watching with the playoffs, guys. Playoff P, will he show up tonight with his squad if Trey didn't turn his ankle?
No, would not have mattered. Obviously, Trae Young was playing great, 32 points in the first 3 quarters, and wasn't himself in the 4th quarter, obviously, on the bad ankle. But it would not have mattered at the end of the day. When he left the game, they were up 85-82. When he re-entered the game early, somewhat early in the 4th quarter, 4 minutes later, they were actually up 93-88. So they had increased the lead a little bit without Trae Young. And obviously, his offense would have helped down the stretch. But Trae Young, his ankles could have been bionic, and he wasn't going to do anything to stop Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is why the Hawks lost the game. He had 20 of his 38 points in the 4th quarter, and we all remember that stretch where he hit 3 3-pointers and an 18-footer in a 2-minute stretch. Trae couldn't have done anything about that. And that's why it would not have mattered. Obviously, he gives you more offensively, but defensively, he is a major liability. Their net rating in this series with Trae Young on or off the floor isn't much different. With him on the floor, it's -13. With him off the floor, it's -14. Because defensively, he hurts you. And whatever he gives you offensively, the other team is getting back to a large degree defensively. The Hawks are 25 points per 100 possessions better defensively without Trae Young on the floor. I'm not in any way saying he's not a great player and they're better off without him or even he doesn't matter. But I'm saying in this game, he couldn't have done anything to keep them from stopping or to help them stop Chris Middleton.
I agree with you, and that's what I was telling Skip, because it wasn't like Trae Young going to guard Chris Middleton. He's 8 of 13 in the 4th, 4 of 6 from the 3, 20 points. Skip, I think a bigger reason was John Collins being in foul trouble, because remember the game that they won, he was 25 and 13. Clint Capella was 12 and 19. That's what they need. Trae Young's going to get his. It seems to me they've made a conscious decision to say, you know what, Trae, have your points. We're just not going to let you score and play make. We'll let Herter take that over. We're going to see if you can run the offense. You can be as effective as Trae Young. But I thought John Collins picking up that 4th foul early in the 3rd quarter, him going out, because that was the opportunity, because it seemed they had just started to get it going, Skip. He was hitting those turnaround jumpers. Whatever mismatch he got, he was taking full advantage of it. So for me, I don't think Trae Young would have had any impact on the ball game, because like I said, what he's good at wasn't going to be able to stop Chris Middleton from doing what he's doing. Giannis is going to be Giannis. Giannis is going to give you 30 and 13 every single game, because there's going to be a lot of dunks and a lot of layups. He's going to miss a bunch of free throws also. He's going to shoot Skip. For me, I don't get Giannis. Just someone help me unexplain. He needs to help me. Maybe I need to go sit on somebody's couch. Why is it I get 4 dunks, 2 layups, and all of a sudden I want to shoot 3s? I want to be Steph Curry. Bro, do you realize, Skip, everybody keeps saying, well, if Kobe played in this era, rest his soul, he could average 40. If Jordan played, he would average 70. Giannis could literally average 40 points a game, Skip, if he decided to say, you know what, I ain't taking no 3. I'm going to the basket, and I'm going to shoot 70% from the free throw line. Giannis would average 40 points a night. But what did he do? Man, you know, the 3 looking good. I see Chris Middleton. Let me get in some of this action, too. So that's why I look at it, Skip. I do not believe Trae Young yeah, it had an impact. It might have even greater impact tonight, tomorrow night, because it might be sore and he might be not as effective as he normally would. But I don't believe Trey would have done anything about this because once Middleton got it going, they had no answer for that.
And I believe, once more, both of you guys have missed the point. It's right in front of your face, but you're missing the boat and the point. Look at Chris Middleton's home road stats, especially in big playoff games. They are shockingly